Mm. Got my makeup on. How I'm look? How I'm looking? Cause it's about to get hot.
Mm. Hot ain't even the word.
All right, so
You,
we on here, man. Right, as the listeners come in, you guys, uh, you'll know what's up. But here we go. What should we start? First of all, you want to just
man. Ooh, man.
yeah. Hey, I
Oh
think we
man.
all feel that. I think we all feel that way after watching uh this past this past weekend. Um,
You
Bucks
know,
game.
Debo, the easiest way to sum it up would be missed opportunities.
Yeah,
Missed op, and you know, I understand that not everybody is perfect. I understand, but one of the first plays of the game, right in the breadbasket. I mean, it it do- it does not get better. Does not pass. And Evans bobbled and dropped it. And really, honestly, feel like had that play gone another, that the game would have gone another way. It it it, it was like watching a Pop Warner football game, man. It was like the offense. Look, and I'm not just blaming Brady, but I'm not giving Brady. I'm not blaming one single person, but I'm not giving. Football is a
yeah,
team sport. It's a team sport, and you and as a team sport, you win as a team and you lose as a team. The
agree.
the passes, the some of the passes Brady was throwing, it wasn't like it is not like the Tom Brady that we know. And if this whole divorce thing has him off his game, I I mean I can't blame him if it is. This is a pretty rough spot for him.
Yeah, and I do. You know, these guys got a job to do. I'm gonna just be real as can be. These guys got a job to do, right? And no matter what, we all got you know stuff going on in our personal lives, but you get paid to do a job. You got to show up and go to work. And things happen, things might affect it, but you still have to perform. You still got to show up. And Brady has been, for the most part, he's been steady. I'm not gonna sit here in front and say he's been great, but at the same time, I'm also a realist, and I understand that as a quarterback in the league, your success comes from the performance of the people in front of you. And no matter what,
Absolutely.
you show me a quarterback. You show me a quarterback in this league that has played well without any blocking, without any creativity on the offensive end, without any execution from the guys around here. And I'm gonna say you lying if you can show me a guy. Now I'm not talking about some mobile quarterback that every time he gets in trouble, he can just take off and run. To me, that's not a
Well, no,
quarterback. You
well,
know,
no. So here's the thing. Is this also, like I said, I'm not giving Brady test, but I'm not blaming it. The line did not hold. Did not hold. It did not hold for
yeah,
okay. I'm no excuses, man. They sat there. They held with the New Orleans Saints, who had a better run than what we was at with Carolina.
yeah,
They had the Dallas Cowboys team. Even though it was the first game of the season, that had a better defense than what
yeah,
so
yeah,
now we okay, the line did not hold. And I'm going to give you a case in point of another quarterback is looking at the exact same thing, and that's Aaron Rodgers. That offensive line is not on par for
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers to the Commanders. Okay?
Yeah, I find it ironic, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady for the last 15 years has been probably the number one and number two quarterbacks that we've seen in this league year after year. You can go back and forth and you can argue about either one, but it's funny how you had the most turmoil on the offensive side of the ball in Green Bay this offseason, and Green Bay is struggling, obviously. The most turnover we had on our team this offseason was on the offensive side of the ball. Now people can say, well, how is that? We returned, Brady, we returned, Evans, Godwin, but the most of the turnover for us happened up front on the offensive line. And
Right.
that's a big deal. And a lot of people try to overturn it, gloss it over. Everything will be fine, and it's not. Now,
No,
another thing is offensively, the turnover came to me in the biggest point, and that's offensive coordinator. Now, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, well, Byron Leftwich is still here." Listen, I'm gonna put Byron Leftwich in the same classification that I put Eric Bieniemy in Kansas City. Bieniemy technically has the name offensive coordinator, but you can't sit here and tell me that Andy Reid still don't have a say or a big piece in how this offense is being ran and how it's being called on the game by game basis.
okay.
Uh,
Debo, to your point. To your point. Philadelphia under Andy Reid with Donovan Owens,
yeah,
etc. Now go look at that. They're against Patrick Mahomes. Go look. Go look. Go look. And go look at the tape. You pull it up on YouTube. Okay. What I mean, we got to call this offense what it is.
Oh,
Okay.
it's bad.
Bruh,
It's bad. And hey, William, real quick, I don't know what's going on your end, but your video is fine, but your audio is cutting in and out. So I'm not sure if you're just not close enough to the microphone.
I'm probably not close enough. Hold on. Let me adjust.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, and we're going to get to that in just a second. Right now, Susie, I'm still trying to get grips to the fact that I just saw my wife at midfield here in Foxborough.
That's a little bit
Is
better.
this all right?
Yeah.
At the booth and fire.
So
anyway, she missed, and she did miss. So here we are.
So I mean, so
here he is in year 2.
I mean,
he's made 16 starts. They want to see
we got to call it for what it is, man. It's nobody's secret that offense that we was running last year.
It's not the same.
That we were. And what is the difference? Bruce Arians is not there. We downplayed exit of a lot of people and a lot of things. People downplayed these exits. People downplayed the exit of Ali Marpet. People were downplaying that the exit of Bruce Arians. I mean, so if you're going to sit there, you're going to downplay it. This is what you get. This is exactly what you get.
Yeah, I agree, man. You know, at the end of the day, and there was a lot of conversation at the end of last season about, you know, Bruce Arians and his relationship with Brady, and you know, maybe that's why Bruce Arians, you know, stepped down and all this and that. But man, listen, Bruce Arians, for all we know, and it's all rumors, nothing's been confirmed that they had a bad relationship. But if anybody was listening when Bruce Arians first came in, he was only going to be here short term. Todd Bowles was already set up to be his successor when he came in. So none of that is surprising that Todd Bowles ended up with the job. And at the end of the day, in this league, I believe you got to earn it. Now, I'm not saying, you know, Todd Bowles didn't earn it, but what I'm saying is, if you're going to make a coaching change and change of the guard, then you want the best possible candidate out there. And the last time Todd Bowles had a job, he sucked in New York. And a lot of people just blamed it on it being the Jets. And that's why it wasn't good, because he didn't have any pieces. Well, this man got handed, I'm not going to say he got handed a Rolls Royce, but he got handed a pretty good football team that was just a one play away from playing in the NFC Championship. Oh, well, in the Super Bowl.
Or yeah,
that was the NFC
Championship.
Yeah. So this team was pretty good, and the offense was a pretty steady offense. Last season they finished a top 5 offense, and you know, we had a prolific passing game, even with all the injuries we had, even with Godwin, losing Godwin. You know, we had Gronk, and I think Gronk presence is being missed, especially in the running game. But you know, there's no way, even with all those changes. Yeah.
With all those changes, yes. I many football games is what we did last year. But you've got to win. You got to win multiple games. You win. So that let's face it, the Carolina Panthers just ranked. Carolina ready to blow it up.
Oh no, they not ready to blow it up. They did blow it up.
Okay,
I mean,
they did blow it up. I mean, we have Boston, between them, we're working this stuff out. That they're blowing it up. They're blowing it up, starting from scratch. Yeah, those teams are expected to lose, but yet now this is where we get defense. This is where we get about it. When you sit there and you make third quarterback last was in the XFL. He goes out there, looks like a Hall of Fame QB. There is something wrong about it. What I saw Devin White over pursuing. But I saw that with tackle.
Yeah.
Coverages. What I saw was a defense, for some reason, the Panthers, pretty much 2 quarters. Touchdown. Okay. I can. Okay, I will give that touchdown. But then they go. Okay. Now, because they have. Do I think it was necessarily all the players' fault? No. I screwed up a lot of that play call. And I think what I said, what we said that the play calling. Where that could lead to trouble. Because of what he did with the, we're starting to see the same thing here in Tampa, where he did not learning from his mistakes the last time he was ahead. And Debo, well, let me rephrase that. Cannot laugh like that continue. Okay. Or you're Brady. When Brady is gone, that security blanket, we are going with Uber. We are not going to have that quarterback change that can. We are going to be with we are going to be with the Gabbert. Can Blake Gabbert do it? But let's face it, he's not Tom Brady. I don't think apply like what Brady does. So now if you think to the Buccaneers,
That's good news because the Seahawks have really been one of the surprising stories of the season. Geno Smith playing great and the defense coming along as well. You know,
No, I mean,
you've got choices to listen to Joe, Troy, and Lisa on ESPN, or Eli and
So
yeah, so
ESPN.
I think that a lot of people forget and where we came from at the quarterback position. Now, I realize also this: a lot of people, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna look directly into the camera because I want people to understand where I'm coming from with this. A lot of people didn't like the fact that Jameis Winston did not return as our quarterback of the Buccaneers. And ever since that happened, a lot of people it's been waiting for the Bucs to struggle. They've been waiting to point the finger at Brady, and they hate the fact that we've had success as a franchise with Tom Brady as our quarterback. If you one of them people, you're not really a fan of a team. You're a fan of players. I don't care who's on my team. If they helping us win, I don't care where they came from, and I don't care if Brady's our quarterback and we getting all this media attention now because of Tom Brady. You should. Dude's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He spent his 20 years of his career nearly in New England and won been to 9 Super Bowls and won 6 of them. Or 5 of them, I don't know, 7 of them, I don't know. A lot of success. But when a guy like that comes to your team, you're supposed to get the attention. You're supposed to have, high expectations, and you're supposed to do everything you can to build around that player. That's just the way it goes. And what we've done over the last year, I'm gonna just go out and say it. Our front office. I know we had some surprises. Ali Marpet retiring was a surprise, but Ali Marpet retired previous to the draft. He retired before free agency. You lost another guy in Kappa, who was one of your starters last season, to the Bengals. You didn't do enough to fortify your offensive line after you lost some key pieces. Now you lost Jensen in training camp. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm just gonna tell you right now, Jensen is not returning this season. So all the stories and all the rumors you hear is straight up bull crap. Not that I'm saying I know something, but I played football and I've seen a lot of people collapse with those type of collisions and get their leg all back on and get themselves bent backwards. Those never end well. So whatever he's doing, whether he's holding out hope or whatever the case may be, he ain't coming back. I've been saying it since the beginning. He ain't coming back. But when your offensive line is depleted like they are, for you as a fan to think that our success rate is going to continue at the rate that we were going at, you don't know football. You don't understand how the quarterback position works. Give me Josh Allen right now. We will get Josh Allen killed. And he probably won't make it through the rest of the season because he'll be running for his life. And while he's running for his life, he won't have time to throw the ball. Brady has one of the quickest releases in all of football. And he still can't find an open guy. Another thing that you mentioned, creativity play calling. Folks, the people like to say, well, our offense was so great last season. All Todd Bowles had to do was play defense. Well, you show me a team, any team that a coach is coaching that doesn't take the mentality of their head coach. Your head coach is a defensive coach. Defensive coaches like to play it close to the vest. They don't like to gamble. They don't like to take chances. And they want to play ball control offense and time of possession. That's what they want to do. Todd Bowles has reconfigured this playbook to suit what he wants in his team. This is the same playbook in a completely different offense. And
Yep.
I've been saying this. I said this in week one. Week one, we can roll the tape back to one of our previous shows. We can roll the tape back. I said in week one, this offense is not the same. I said that in week one.
Yeah, you did.
Because we, as a franchise, you can't forget where we came from. We played this style of football before. We played defense and ran the ball and played it close to the vest for many years under Tony Dungy. And you forget what that looked like. And what we're doing right now is something similar to that. But here's the thing: our defense ain't good.
But
So
no,
you can't play close. You can't play close to the vest offense with a defense that's at the bottom of the league. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh well, we're ranked this and we're ranked that." Well, we only rank this and we only rank that because outside of Kansas City, we haven't played anybody that put in the stress on our defense. We played a Dallas Cowboys team that the first game of the season with Dak, they were just getting used to playing without two of their best wide receivers that they lost in the offseason, and another one that was, coming back from a injury that didn't play. Then we turn around the next week. We played a. Let me see if I can pull this schedule up. Let me see. I'm gonna pull this schedule up real quick. All right, so I'm finna go down this schedule. Week 1, we played Dallas. We won 19-3. Like I said, that was a team on the men. They was trying to get used to everything. They had a lot of pieces that they lost in the offseason. Week 2, we played the Saints team. We beat them. Saints, again, another team that was struggling on offense. A quarterback in Jameis Winston. We know what he is. We know how to play him. Put some pressure on him. He'll make the mistakes. He ended up throwing 3 interceptions, and we still only won that game 20-10 with a TD late in that game that kind of sealed the deal. So that game wasn't really over with until the very end. We lose to Green Bay, 14-12. We lose to Green Bay 14-12, folks. And Green Bay was a team that, again, lose Devontae Adams. They had pieces on their offensive line that they was missing. They also had brand new receivers that Rodgers is getting used to. And they number 1 draft pick at wide receiver was out that game. And we still lost that game. The best offense we played was Kansas City. We lose that. We give up 41. We give up 41 to Patrick Mahomes.
They came in and they strengthened their count.
Listen, in that game, 41-31, to me, it wasn't even that close because I think Kansas City let off the gas in the second half and made us think we had a chance. If they wanted to score 50, they probably could have scored 50. There was no way we was winning that game. Then we come next week at home against the Falcons. We see the Falcons. They again a whole lot of turnover on the offensive side of the ball, and we barely get out of that game after being up, at halftime, shutout, up 2 scores at halftime. We barely escaped that game. That's a bad team. We give up 2 touchdowns in the second half, and had it not been for a few calls that went our way in the fourth quarter, if Atlanta get the ball back, who knows what happens?
Well, I'm telling Debo, we don't get that rough passer made. We don't win that game.
Hey, possibly. And then I'm going through the whole schedule. The next week we go to Pittsburgh. They starting a rookie quarterback. They benched their starter for this rookie. We go into that game. We get beat. The rookie goes out the game. They comes in the game with Mitch Trubisky, and Trubisky absolutely lights us up in the second half. We lose that game. Then we turn around and get, basically 21-3. We get blanked. We get blanked in this game too. And defensively, I know a lot of people say, well, you can't win. You can't win scoring 3 points. You're right. You can't win scoring 3 points. But it's the matter. The last couple of weeks, it's the way we've given up those points in the last couple of weeks. Mostly in the second half. We'll play close to the first half, second half, and I don't want to hear this time of possession, because time of possession wise, we holding the ball for like 30 minutes every game. So the time of possession is almost split down the middle. This defense ain't tired. The offense struggling. The whole team trash. And I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Even with Brady, we still look trash because we ain't doing a good enough job around him, from our skill positions to our offensive line, of making the game easier for him. Any quarterback is going to have problems with no pocket to throw the ball out of. Any quarterback. I don't care who you go get. You're not going to be successful. And the play calling is so vanilla. We've went backwards 20 years. 3 yards in a cloud of smoke on first down. Everything on series. And I'm just, it's bad. It is bad. You get out coached every week. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Todd Bowles. And I commended him for the comment that he made to the reporter, about, before the Pittsburgh game. I commended him about that because that needed to be said, because I'm kind of sick and tired of, that same question being asked all the time when it's a black head coach, playing against another black head coach. I've been in sports all my life, but nobody that plays sports see color. Nobody, no coaches, no players, any of that. Sports bring people together more than anything. So to keep getting those same questions, I'm glad he said what he said. But at the same time, bro, you as a head coach, your track record ain't good, and you got the keys given to you with a lot of pieces in place, where you didn't have to build as much, and you're not doing anything with it. I personally believe you got a quarterback like Tom Brady, and I don't care what anybody say, Tom Brady is still a top, he's still a top 10 quarterback, maybe even top 5 if he can get if the offensive line can protect. He's still that good. But right now, you got to do a better job offensively to get this guy in a rhythm. I'm sick and tired of these double tight formations I'm sick and tired of these bunch formations where you're not getting anything out of it. Here go another one for you. Leonard Fournette, bruh, put your head down and run the ball. You're not a dancer. You don't have twinkle toes feet. You're a bulldog as a runner. You can't dance.
But with that
Never liked with that offensive line, you can't dance. Matter of fact, if we can't run the ball, because we're dead last in the league running the ball anyway. So just go ahead and just spread the ball, spread the field out, go 3-4 wide, and just utilize the short passing game as a running game. Don't even hand the ball off at this point.
People, even with if you do not have when you are making
hey, you cutting out again. Hey, your phone cutting out real bad again, man.
Oh, my bad.
I don't know what it is.
Testing 1 2.
Yeah, you might have to you might have to just put it close. I know you don't like having your full mug on the camera, but
no, not really.
You just have to,
but it's all good.
You might have to be this. You might have to be this close, right here. Just do the one side of the face, Phantom of the Opera type.
No, but here's the thing, man. They were trying to spread it, and yes, this is where I'm going to kind of get on Brady a little. Brady made some bad throws, man.
No, he did.
Really did.
I'm not saying that he's throwing the ball perfect, but a lot of them, a lot of them bad throws probably because he feel like he got to get rid of the ball faster than he does. Any quarterback, I don't care what year you're in, you're gonna start to rush the passes a little bit when you don't even have enough time to set your feet on most of your throws.
Well, and see, and is that thing that this is where I say I'm not giving him a pass, but I'm not blaming it all on him because he all part of that. Because there were throws he made. They were catchable passes. And they didn't catch. There were plays that he had a few extra. He probably would have gotten something done, but the offensive line broke. Now, this is where we have to. This is where we have got to look at ourselves for exactly what it is. The Glaciers sold out to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
that is what they did. That they completely
and that's okay. That's okay because guess what? We won. We got it. We got it.
Okay.
So
okay.
But again though, this is the thing, and this is another mistake I feel like they made. Now, most of these teams they squeeze their salary cap signing the quarterback to the big deal. We didn't have this situation here in Tampa because Brady's not making a whole lot of money, and he's definitely not the most money we got against our salary cap. This is the problem. When we won our Super Bowl, we stood pat. And me, yourself, Nicholas Lane, left field correspondent, we was all saying this, bruh. Even though we won the Super Bowl, we got to get better here, and here. And they chose to bring guys back that weren't that good just to keep the team together. Some of them they overpaid for. And
Yeah.
you know, I put one out there. Shaq Barrett, bro, you're making, you know, big bucks. You're making big bucks, and you're not doing
Yeah.
anything. Like, you got to step up. You have to step up. You got 20, almost 20 sacks in the season, and since then, in the last 2 years, you don't even have 20 sacks.
Now, but I want you to look at why he had those sacks. He had those sacks. Line. We don't have that defensive line anymore. Okay, we don't have JPP. Now our linebackers are getting it. Our linebacker core is exposed. Plain, pure, and simple. There is
Yeah.
there. Okay, and when and I want to go back to a comment you made earlier about the free agency. I said this before, and I'll say it again. Tom Brady saved Jason Light's job.
Oh, he saved a lot of people's jobs.
Tom Brady doesn't sign. Jason Light is not our general manager right now. When Tom Brady leaves, because I'm telling you this right now, if he comes back to Tampa next year, because he ain't trying to do all this. He tried to. This man is not trying to be a part of no damn rebuild. Not trying to do that. When Tom Brady leaves to square one, and those glaring, negligent that Jason Light is so well known for not addressing what is going to show its ugly head.
Yeah.
I don't think there is a Hall of Fame quarterback wing to come down to Tampa. I don't. I mean, I think of a few names who, but at the end of the day, I don't even think they do it. You can't say Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers just signed a new contract with. I mean, unless Green Bay can trade him away. Yeah, but do we have the salary cap to take on that Aaron Rodgers?
No, we don't. We don't have a salary cap. We don't have a salary cap because we re-signed a lot of guys that's not worth, what we paying. And on the offensive side, Evans is worth every penny we pay him. But guess what? Next season, folks, guess who's up for a new contract? You just franchised him this season, Godwin. You gotta figure out a way to get him back.
You got to pay the man.
You got to pay him.
And he is not going to take nuts.
No, listen. If Brady doesn't return, you got to pay him to keep him. He might take a little bit of a cut if Brady say, you know what, I'm going to continue to play. And I know for a lot of people, you might hate to hear that. But for me, who are you going to go to? Kyle Trask? Blaine Gabbert? Who are you going to go to?
At some point in time, you've got to see what you have in. Okay, and
use some of these games. Use some of these games, and sprinkle him in for a handful of plays. If you want to see what he's worth, use him in some of these instances where you can take advantage of his mobility. To get on the edges and make some throws in the third down situation or run some zone read action, you know, with with Trask. He's that type of quarterback, and I don't have nothing against Trask. But if you're gonna sit here, you're gonna draft this guy in the third round, then you either see what he got or you stand pat and let him go. Because at the end of the day, now this will be next season will be his third season, and he's been behind Tom Brady, Hall of Fame quarterback. So at some point, this guy, you got to see what he's worth. I like him as a quarterback, and I was ready this season to see what he got before Brady decided to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, if the season is going south and Brady is too competitive to do this, start Trask in a couple games. See what he got. If we get to the end of the season, let's say we don't, it's gonna take a lot, but let's say we clinch a playoff berth due to our division being so bad, and you got like a game or two left, and you're not buying for any like positioning or anything. Let's see what Trask got. Put him out there. If we getting blown out in the game, like put him out there. Put him out there, man. See what you got in the kid. But it's not gonna happen because Brady's too competitive. Number one, and number two, the end goal of this season was playoff. I'm not even gonna sit here and say Super Bowl or bust because the Super Bowl has already been won. And to be honest with you, coming into this season, even if Ali Marpet returned, even if we still have Jensen, bruh, we was not the best team in the NFC. So
no, but a lot better than what we are.
No, you're definitely a lot better than what we are because you have some horses in the front that could do a better job of protecting the quarterback. But we weren't the top. We weren't a number one or number two team in the NFC before this season. I could have chose. Listen, honestly, let's see. The Giants are better than us. The Eagles are better than us. I know we beat the Cowboys, but they seem to put it together. We still struggling. So we got nearly the whole NFC East. That's better than us. Then you go to let's see, NFC West, 49ers better than us, Rams better than us, Arizona question mark. We're not that good right now, man. And I don't never want to see no coach get a one and done type of situation. But if Todd Bowles, if we lay an egg this season, and let's say we don't even make the playoffs, say we miss the playoffs, you really have to. It won't happen. It won't happen because you still have Bruce Arians in the football position, right? So he set this man up for this position. Jason Light, as you said, Brady saved this job. So, there's gonna be some loyalty there where he would not get a one and done. Because if he gets a one and done, that means Bruce Arians failed. Because his job was to pass his team on to Todd Bowles.
No, I don't think you say. I don't think you can. I don't think.
Well, that's
say that because Bruce Arians, what he said he was going to do, he was going to set the team up, and then he was gonna walk away. He did. Bruce Arians did. Bruce, because his predecessor or his, because the guy he preceded, the guy that sits down and lays an egg, I don't think you. Okay, Bruce Arians did. Okay, Bruce Arians might be still consulting, but Bruce Arians is not the head coach anymore. Bruce
No,
Arians
he's not.
is not the. So I don't think say Bruce Arians fell. I think you fell because Tom Bolt's got the key to a pretty good car. Maybe it wasn't a Lamborghini, but it was a. It was the greatest car in the world, but it was a good, strong, steady car that can get you there. About any of us thought that this season, after all these people left, I can't tell me that everybody thought that it was going to be the same old. And if you did, but now, I'm like you. I necessarily like the one and done thing. But I'm sorry, man. If we miss, regardless of the loyalty, etc., we go from winning a Super Bowl 2 years ago, even making it to the playoffs, and you look at what's different. Yeah, we lost players. You got to be looking at the head coach. Got to look at the head coach. If Tom Bolt does go, I feel like Jason Light needs to go too. Regardless of the new contract.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, man.
Because this is the thing. At the end of the day, what you are doing, it's not working. You're not doing the job. And yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe Jason like skates by. Oh, this that year turns into 2, turns into 3. Then go. I'm sorry, but I only give them 1 or 2 years to fix this. I don't even know.
Well, I mean, to fix it, I think they just, Brady is saying it. Everybody's saying it. We have to execute better. But here's the problem. Here's the problem with that statement, and that's a dry statement for we just don't have enough. If the guys you asking to execute better just not good enough, it's just not going to be good enough. Like again, the offensive line is a mess. It's a train wreck, and you asking those guys.
But why that's what I want. Why is the offensive line that way?
Because you lost some key guys in the offseason and you didn't do a good job, a good enough job of providing depth, of having guys ready down in the pipeline to come in.
Forget about the depth. You didn't do a good. You did a patchwork job.
Well, again, but it saves. It still falls down the line of not doing a good job of preparing the team. Look, okay, I'm gonna give you a prime example, right? We won our Super Bowl, but I'm just gonna give you a prime example of an organization that has all their checks and balances, all their ducks in a row, from a scouting and development standpoint. The team Tom Brady came from, they're getting ready to play a Monday night game. And they had the down year after the year after Brady left. They were bad. They weren't even bad. They were 500. Defensively, they were still that same team on the defensive side of the ball that they were the year before. They just didn't have enough on the offensive side of the ball. Not Bruce Arians, but Bill Belichick goes out, drafts a quarterback from Alabama. He comes in, stabilizes the quarterback position right away. Then he goes out and he continues to build a front line to protect his quarterback. To the point of now he's in year 3 or year 2, year 3, I think, but he goes down. This man comes out with Zappy. Nobody knows who Zappy is. This guy comes in for 2 straight weeks and lights it up. He's throwing the ball all over the place, all kind of protection, running game to support it, offensive line stable, and they won both of those games. To the point now there's a little bit of a quarterback controversy in the media. I don't think there is in New England, but people are saying, should you stay with Zappy? Should you go back to Jones? Jones is a really good quarterback himself. But this is the point I'm making, where even though you went all in, you still can draft, you still can scout well, you still can provide your team depth, because this is a long season. It's a war of attrition in the football, and you have to have the next man up mentality. You can say all you want, next man up, but really, we don't have the next man up mentality because we went all in with our starters. We went all in with Ali Marpet. Even though he was young, you weren't prepared for the worst. You wasn't prepared for Jensen to go down. You weren't prepared to have Kappa leave in the off season. You weren't prepared to lose Donovan Smith. You know what I'm saying? You weren't prepared to not have a game where you obviously you can't prepare for this, but you can from a schematic and play calling standpoint. You weren't prepared to have a game where you had Julio Jones out, Evans out, Godwin out. Your top 3 receivers out. You weren't prepared for not having Gronk. Now, I do kind of like the young tight ends we have, but they're just young. They're still learning. But you weren't prepared for that. You weren't prepared for Cameron Brate to be out. And again, all of this comes down to coaching. Like, we sat here, we went to Pittsburgh last week. Pittsburgh was missing like 3 or 4 starters in their secondary. They were missing one of the best pass rushers in the league in Watt. And he didn't make excuses about who he didn't have. He just got prepared and got ready to people who were there. And that's why Mike Tomlin is going to be a Hall of Fame head coach. That's why Mike Tomlin has been to multiple Super Bowls. That's why Mike Tomlin in 15 years has never had a losing season, even though a few of them seasons he didn't have his starting quarterback. He still went out there and got it done because he don't make excuses. He just prepared the guys he got for game day. And we did not do that. We haven't done that. And until we start doing that, we're going to have problems because you can't be one injury away from being a bad team. You just can't. And we had a roster where we were one injury away from being a bad team at every single position because the guys that you got starting ain't good. Now I'm finna go in on the defense side of the ball. We done said enough about the offensive side of the ball, but now I'm finna go in on the defensive side of the ball because I'm tired of the same old argument. I'm tired of arguing with people that's saying, oh, we have a good defense. we're doing okay. We're ranked here. We're ranked there. Bro, you must have not been a Bucks fan. You must not been a Bucks fan under Tony Dungy. You couldn't have, because that defense will go down a 10-year run. It's never been done. What they did for 10 years, never been done. Top five, top three defense in every category for nearly 10 years. That's what a great defense looks like. We didn't have a quarterback back then, did we? We didn't. They didn't make excuses that the offense couldn't move the ball. They went out there, they did their job. They shut down every single team we played. No excuses. If it was 3rd and 10, they was getting off the field. You already knew 3rd and 10, oh, we getting the ball back. That's it. We getting the ball back. Now, this defense, 3rd and 10, bro, you're still letting them pick up first downs. The last 2 weeks, we giving up almost 170, 180 yards rushing to teams that should not be running the ball that way on us. We played a third-string quarterback. We played a third-string quarterback in P.J. Walker, and we made that dude look like an NFL starting quarterback. To the point now, Carolina has made this man a starter for the rest of the season, even when Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold gets healthy. That happened off of our game. That's the only game he played. So now we out here making quarterbacks. We making quarterbacks money. We're making them look good because our defense is trash. Our secondary is trash. I've been calling our secondary trash for years. You know it. And the people that Boss Hog know it. Nicholas Lane know it. Anybody that's been watching Rat Pack Sports Show, bruh, you know what I've been saying about this secondary. They're trash. Our corners suck. Period. I don't care what your name is. I don't care if you start. Our best corner is probably Dean. And that's it.
I mean, it's good. Davis is all right.
Man, Davis, listen, this is what I'm going to say about Davis. I don't know why he gets the hype he does, because every big down, every big play that I've seen this season, he's chasing behind the wide receiver. So you're not okay if
that's play off.
Listen, if you confident, no matter what defense you're running, you're not afraid.
Yeah, but
listen,
what say this? Not playing it when he played.
No, that
playing.
That is
best DB, but for
no,
some
no,
reason,
no.
Hold on.
He's not one of them. Okay.
No, you didn't hear what I said, man. I said when he plays to play, he is a good DB. He goes and he plays off of these receivers out in La La Land.
Okay, so let me throw that. I see what you're saying, but to me, a good DB is good whether you playing zone or man. You can't be a one or the other defensive back. You can't be that way. You got to be good. You got to be consistent every time. What made Deion Sanders great? He was an excellent press cornerback, and in the zone, he made you pay if you thought the guy was open. We don't have guys like that. I can pick 15 defensive backs right now. I would pick over any defensive back we have. There's some teams that's got 3 guys that's better than our best 2.
That's what I'm saying about what I'm saying. When they play where they're supposed to play, they're all right.
I don't think
But
they're
then,
all right because honestly,
but
even in the games we did win, uh, you know, they leave guys open. They leave
right.
guys open. Like
But what?
and
But
again, I know it plays hand in hand with coverages, do with pressure. But my problem is this. Could we be better? Yes, we could. But here we is. Here we go. Todd Bowles, you're our defensive coordinator. You're our defensive coordinator. You should know the strengths and the weaknesses of this team, each individual player that plays on this team. If I'm a quarterback, uh, and you try to throw a zero blitz on me, guess what I'm gonna do? You're dead. We don't have we got not enough guys that can cover. We don't have enough guys that can cover. Okay. If you play in
no,
the zone, most of our guys play off and they play shaded head up or outside shaded shoulder, which in the offensive terms, you're gonna give me the middle of the field, I'm gonna take it. Now, I ain't never played a down in the NFL. Football is very basic. It's very, very simple. How you lined up pre-snap is very simple. It tells the quarterbacks and the offensive coordinators what you're gonna do, what tendencies you have. If you lined up and you playing off, odds are you're playing the zone because you're just dropping off. If you're man, you're tight, you playing press coverage, you can be man or zone. But this is the thing. Sometimes you can be press coverage and you can be playing zone because you know you got help over the top. There's not enough. There's not enough trickery. There's not enough schemes. There's not enough anything going on defense coverage wise. We just suck. And over the last few weeks, all our big plays, I'm seeing the same numbers. I'm seeing the same numbers in every single big play we give up. So that to me tells me you're not playing well. I don't care what anybody says.
well,
I
no,
don't care.
well, well, well,
And
no,
we
you're not. You're supposed to be.
well, I mean, like I say, man, you're not playing well. Um, when you're not playing well, it's easy to pick out stuff. But this stuff that is happening now, bro, you know me. I've been pointing this stuff out when we was winning, and people were saying, "Oh, why you gonna be like that?" Because it's easy to mask stuff up when we're winning. I've been telling people our defense ain't that good for a long time. This is a passing league, and teams don't run the ball like that no more. So it don't mean nothing to have a top ranked run defense because the minute the team start throwing the ball, you can't stop them. So I don't care
Well,
about maxing out against the run. I'd rather have a middle of the pack run defense and have a stout pass defense.
that that's what I'm saying. Our passing is not there, guys.
It ain't
That,
there. In the
that
last couple of seasons, we've been spotted. We've been spotted a lot of points the last couple of seasons to where a lot of the problems we had on defense, even from a pressure standpoint, we don't get pressure without the blitz. We never do. So
but
we have to sell out on the blitz to get pressure.
well, and and that's the other thing. You're sending him to be your entire defensive line, and you can't put all that on one man yet again. This was a misstep. This was a misstep.
Well,
Jason
I'm a,
Lott for not addressing
I'm
JPP Sue leaving. Yes, we
I'm gonna
brought
be realistic. I'm gonna be realistic as I can be right now. when I was a huge court fan, you know that. I wasn't
Yes.
mad that we released Jerry McCoy. I was more mad that we released Jerry McCoy with nobody behind him to take his spot. Now, when we got Sue, I was like, okay, cool, we got Sue. Let's see what he do. Sue stepped up and he played great football for the last 3 seasons. On this team, him and Vita Vea anchored the defensive line. You know, they anchored that middle to the point it made it easy for guys like Shaq Barrett and whoever else was Levante David, which in the 3-4, they got him playing out of position because David is not a middle linebacker. He's a weak side linebacker. But it is what it is. Um, this season, even last season, the guy on our defense that gets all the hoopla and gets all the praise and oh he's so great, he ain't that good, and that's White. And your middle linebacker is he's your anchor against the run.
I'll be
Anything up
honest
the middle, he should.
with you, man. I don't think Devin White should be a linebacker.
No, I think Devin White is suited to play outside and not inside.
Yes.
Because he's too little.
Yes.
He's too little to play linebacker because as soon as the linemen get their hands on him, they just pushing him back. He doesn't do a good job of engaging. He don't do a good job of disengaging on blocks. And he makes a lot of splash plays. But if you're a middle linebacker and your glory is blitzing, you're not really that good as a middle linebacker because your job as a middle linebacker in pass coverage against the run is the man up the middle of the field.
Right.
So we already know he's not good in pass coverage man to man. With that, since the day he came into the league, he splashed because he had guys like Sue in front of him. And he had Vita Vea. Those guys ate up blocks. They ate up linemen. It allowed him to freely float without being touched. Now, the offensive line ain't that. Our defensive line has got some holes in it. And now all they got to worry about is Vita. No JPP, no Sue. All you got to worry about now is Vita. Nobody else is doing anything. Shaq Barrett ain't done anything in 2 seasons. So Vita Vea is the guy you want to block. Well, they got their hands on Vita Vea. Now they can get to the second level. They get to the second level, and White is getting either blown out the play or he's just taking himself out of the play because he's over pursuing, or he's trying to jump out of the hole to avoid being tackled, or avoid being engaged from the offensive lineman. And he's opening up running lanes.
He's trying to be everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
Instead of lining up. Yeah. And you know what? And I commend him for wanting to try to make a him for that. I love that about him. But there are times where you need to step back and play the position that you're supposed to be playing. No,
Bill Belichick has his saying, do your job. Do your job. And right now, he's not doing his job. Shaq Barrett ain't doing his job. There's not a whole lot of people doing their job. The one's constant on our defense, Vita Vea, obviously, he's doing his job. His job ain't to sack the quarterback. So people, stop looking for Vita Vea to get sacks. His job is to clog holes. But if he's doing his job and the guys next to him ain't doing their job, then you can't look at Vita Vea and say, oh, you're not doing your job. No, they're not doing their job. If Vita Vea is engaged by 2 linemen, then somebody's free. Somebody else got to step up to make that tackle, whether it's the safety that's coming down in the block, whether it's White who's supposed to step up and fill that hole, that's his job. That's what he has to do. In the secondary, if your job is to play deep thirds, your job is to play deep thirds. Stop staring at the quarterback and getting beat on double moves. Just get to your deep thirds. If it's to play man, put yourself in position in that man-to-man defense to where when that ball is snapped, the quarterback gonna have to make a perfect throw to get it past you. I'm gonna give you a prime example, William. I'm gonna give these people a prime example. I've never played defensive back in a football game with pads, but I played a whole lot of flag football. And in flag football, you're forced, if you're on defense, you're forced to cover. So playing against quarterbacks, for the last 20 years plus years, I've been playing flag football. And even when I played a little bit of outside linebacker. I understand defense and I understand coverages. So if I'm playing man to man, and I'm an outside corner, my coaches always told me this, and I don't care if you're a professional athlete, I don't care what level you played on, you ain't gonna ever convince me otherwise. Because at the end of the day, my job as a defensive back is to make the quarterback have to make a perfect throw every time to get to beat me. So my coaches always told me, high school, college, they always told me, when you're playing defense against the pass, you're on the outside. Your job is to make this quarterback throw a perfect pass. How do you do that? Before the ball is snapped, this is what you do. You line up shaded on the inside shoulder of that receiver. That way, he has to cross your face. Any throw that is made, the ball has to come across your face to get to him. You're already established on the inside. Yes. You can't give up a quick slant. You can't give up an in route. You can't give up a curl route because you're already standing right there. So if they have to throw anything to the sideline, it's got to be a perfect pass to be completed because the window is a lot smaller from the hash to the sideline than it is from the hash to the middle of the field.
Yes.
Very simple. I don't see no cornerbacks in today's game, and the ones that are doing it, they're the good ones. I don't see no cornerbacks, none on our team. I watch all these games. Before the ball is snapped, y'all worrying about the quarterback. I'm looking at how our defensive backs lined up. That's going to tell me right there immediately what they're going to give up. And 9 times out of 10, when I see them lined up a certain way, I already know what they're going to give up. And that is exactly what they give up. So our corners are shaded. They're head up. So you're dead off the ball. All they're going to do is give you a jab, give you a nice little shuffle, jab step to the outside. You're going to turn your hips, bite to the outside, and bam, the middle of the field wide open. How many times you seen that?
A bunch. But
a bunch of times.
Here's the okay, and this was the point I was trying to make before. Okay, there are times where they're not even lining up right. Where is not reflecting where everybody else is lining up in one formation. The DBs are out there lining up in something completely different. If everybody is not on the same page,
yeah, and my thing here is this. It don't matter what call on defense you make. That slight little difference in where you lined up can throw off the timing of any quick throw. And it doesn't change the coverage or the zone. It doesn't change it's just a look.
I'm telling you, Pittsburgh game. Go look at what Kenny Pickett put down the field. Look at what Mitch Trubisky was able to put down the field. Look
Yeah.
at what Aaron Rodgers, with no receivers, was able to put down the field because they played off. They played this. I don't even. But now, let's address the fact that our DBs. We've already addressed the linebackers. Line. And let's call it what it is. It's a patch job. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's injured.
No,
He's injured. He's making a difference. You can't just bring in one guy to be okay
no.
and do a patch job on everything else.
Yep.
You lost two Pro Bowl defensive end PP. You lost the Dominican Sue, and you bring in one guy. Yes, Akeem Hicks, but he's on the picture. Yes, I understand injuries happen.
He's always injured, though. That's the thing.
Other opportunity in free agency to get some quality defensive linemen.
They just stood pat.
Come in. He goes and he overlooks them.
JPP was a free agent all the way up until about 3 weeks ago. You knew, you saw the problem early on.
I'm willing to bet you Jason Line didn't even.
Well, I know they was negotiating with Sue. They couldn't reach a deal. They wanted him back, but they couldn't reach a deal. Knowing Sue in his history, Sue is his own agent. He negotiates his own contracts. So Sue probably didn't like what they was offering him from a money standpoint. Understandable. They showed the interest to bring him back. It just didn't line up from a money standpoint. Could have been the same way with JPP. And I'm sure because he stayed out in free agency a little bit longer than normal, he went to Baltimore for a very veteran-friendly deal. So, but he wasn't going to give the Bucs that because the Bucs, this is the problem. They didn't look at the leadership side of the ball and just saw it from a production standpoint. The accountability that guys like JPP and Sue wasn't really that vocal. So I don't know what Sue was like in the locker room, but I know JPP was a very vocal leader, and he would be very vocal about guys not doing their job and guys being out of position. JPP was a guy who played through injury. He didn't make excuses, and he'll play 70 snaps in a game where he probably shouldn't even be playing.
Okay, but you're saying that you don't know how the Dominican Sue would. He had to be something because he was sure wearing that C on his chest. And Arians didn't give out those C's lightly.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's why I said I don't know about his vocal leadership, but he led by example, and he was a different player here as a Buccaneer than he was as a Detroit Lion, or even as a Ram. He was a different player, but he was good for us, and they allowed him to not come back. And I think the biggest hit was JPP. I feel like the biggest hit was JPP because if you're gonna rush the passer, you need pass rusher. JPP was a natural 4-3 defensive end who could easily stand up and be a 3-4 linebacker. You can't find 3-4 linebackers that can go and play defensive end and rush the passer like that. So, but you didn't do a good job of addressing losing a major piece over the last 3 years in your pass rush and in JPP. You didn't do a good job in that.
Well,
You
and
stood pat. You
really
stood
said it.
pat on the secondary that was absolutely atrocious defending the pass over the last 3 years. I don't care what
Okay,
anybody says. Our defensive backfield has been garbage the last 3 years because they finish in the bottom of the league every single year.
and
Every
but
single year. The only reason we was ranked where we was ranked was because our run defense was a top 2, number 1 run defense. So
okay,
that was the balance.
okay, but now, okay, but now, let this, okay, get it. Talking about Tyron Mateu or anything
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
Honey Badger. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not talking about just him. How many qualities were on the market this year that would have made a difference? And that how many?
Quite a bit.
How many?
I don't know
Okay,
how many from an exact number, but I know there was some guys out there.
now
So
you know, and you actually said something earlier that actually did because we went all in last year, returning the entire defense and overpaying players. Now we don't have that salary cap with. You mess up with the contract with the contracts. Look, you know what? There was a couple guys on that side that you know what? If they had walked, what to? There are guys that are backup QB or that are backup people that are making.
mm-hmm.
And they, okay, let's talk about Shaq Barrett. I happen to like Shaq Barrett. I do
don't.
like him.
I don't.
So
I don't. I'll be the
think
first one to say that.
well, is that we agree to disagree? I'll tell you.
Hey, his job is to put pressure on the quarterback and get sacks. That's what you paid him for. You gave him a top dollar contract the year after he got 19 and a half sacks. So you paid him for his sack production. That's why he gets paid.
Yeah,
When
but
you're coming back, you're not pressuring the quarterback. You're not doing your job. You're a defensive end. Basically,
but
you're a defensive end. Shaq Barrett in
but
coverage is
again,
absolutely terrible.
why did he get all of those sacks? Why did he have the production that he had? He had the JPP. He had the Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, but that was only
Vita
1 year. That was only 1 year. He did that 1 year, and then subsequently, the years after that, last year he had those same dudes, and he didn't do that. Why? Because teams started focusing on him. His first year here, he came from Denver. He was a nobody. Nobody knew who he was. He caught people off guard. He caught people by surprise. Once they get that tape on you, if you can duplicate that performance, then you're good. You're a really good player. He's not been able to duplicate that. He hasn't even had stretches in multiple games where he's come close to what he did his first year with us.
And this is why I say I do like him. I do think he is an above average player. I don't know if you call it good, okay, but he was not worth that contract that we gave him.
No, and that was one of the first mistakes that was made when they started spending money to keep this team together was that contract. That was one of the first mistakes.
Now you go over and you look at some of these other defensive that they stacked up that money on. And all of those players there, they had their good time, they had their good points, they had their bad points. Even the defensive back, Carlton Davis, Jamel Dean, yeah, I actually do their job. They are good DBs, but you're paying them. Man, dude, you're paying them Deion Sanders money. You're paying them Darrelle Revis money. They ain't those guys. They are not those guys. And when you start paying people like that, who's out are bringing those guys that can make that difference. You lose out on being able to bring them in. And then what happened with the JPPs, with the Dominican suits. Great. I'm like you. I would have rather thrown that money at you.
Yeah, I just think, and you look at guys like Mike Evans that, every year he takes pay cuts to give the team extra money, and you're not doing nothing with that extra money. Now, this another argument here, people dislike the Julio Jones signing because Julio Jones is being hurt. He has been able to help us.
We hate that signing.
That's unfortunate. But here's my thing. If you don't sign Julio Jones, who do you have? Another nobody that's probably not going to help the team. So what we crying about?
What has Julio Jones done?
No, what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this. Julio Jones on this team is a number 3 guy on this team. Okay.
He ain't even a number 3 guy.
Okay. Julio Jones, I'm going to say it again. Julio Jones on this team is a number 3 because our first 2 is Evans and Godwin. Those are number 1 and 2 receivers. On this team, he's a number 3 guy. Most teams don't get much out of a number 3 receiver. Again, who was our number 3 receiver before we got Julio Jones? A guy that was since then released and is not even on an active roster in the NFL. So that's the guy that we complain. Who?
Johnson.
Who? Where is he?
Johnson. Houston Texans.
What is he doing over there?
No, I'd have to look it up. Okay. But he's with the Texans.
I'll do you a favor. I got the internet here. Tyler Johnson. Let's see. Tyler Johnson. Remind us, he's been healthy, and Julio Jones has been out the last 5 weeks. So let's see what Tyler Johnson has done with the Houston Texans in 2022. Yeah, he hasn't played a single game. So there you go. That's the guy that we're worried about letting go when we brought in Julio Jones, a guy that's on the team in the Houston Texans that has 0 minutes.
And I will tell you why. I feel no. Tyler Johnson has not played a single down for whatever reason. Honestly, I think that's a bad move on Lovie Smith. But we signed Julio Jones to come in here and make an impact. This dude gets a blade of grass cut, and he's out for 5. He's out for God's sakes. The defensive back for the Washington Commanders was shot. This man was, and he is already back.
Yeah,
Julio
but this is the thing.
And he got for fighting him to make a difference. He has
but
not done
this is the difference, though.
I hate this side.
the guy in Washington who was shot was only shot in the leg. So he didn't tear an ACL. He didn't have a partially torn PCL, which is almost as worse as having a partially torn ACL. So Rondé Barber, the year we won the Super Bowl, played through a PCL injury. But here's the thing. It's a lot easier for a defensive back to play through a PCL injury than it is a wide receiver when everything you do is predicated on stopping, cutting, speed, quickness. You can play defense through an injury like that. You can't play offense through that type of injury. You just can't. So, huh?
Julio Jones don't even have that.
Yes, he does. That's what Julio Jones is dealing with, a partially torn PCL.
Man.
Yeah, that is what he's dealing with, a partially torn PCL. So, again, unfortunate, but the guy that a lot of people was mad that got cut ain't doing nothing. So the Julio Jones signing, to be upset about it, is really, it's irrelevant, because if we have Tyler Johnson, what is he going to do?
He's actually going to be on the field catching passes.
Well, he ain't catching passes for Houston, and they need receivers worse than the Bucks do. So what does that say? You get cut for a reason. People just don't get. You don't just cut players that are good if they can actually help you. You just don't.
No. But our front office and our coaching staff is not an evaluating player.
No, hey, listen, I get it. We drafted a kicker in the second round. Hey, you and me both, bro. I know our front office is skeptical at times, making moves. But this move
at
here
time.
had no. But this the Julio Jones signing. The Julio Jones signing.
At times?
Yeah, at times.
Did
I mean,
you
obviously.
Really just say at times.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question. Was this same management, was the Mike Evans draft pick a good draft pick by Jason Light? Was the Julio Jones pick a good pick? Was the Ali Marpet draft pick a good pick? Was bringing in Jensen a good idea? Was bringing in I forget, was drafting Tristan Wirfs a good draft pick? The young rookie in the secondary? That was a good draft pick.
No.
I mean, you have to give a guy credit for doing something.
No, you do not give Jason Light credit for that.
Okay. But he was the GM doing all this.
That was Bruce Arians.
It doesn't matter. He was still the GM. He still has to sign off. He still has to sign off on those draft picks. It doesn't matter.
Only it off.
So we just gonna throw the hammer at Jason Light when picks don't pan out. But we're not gonna give him credit for making good picks. We're gonna throw that on Bruce Arians because Bruce Arians. Come on, man. Come on, man. We can't do that. Listen, William. We here. What we do here is we call it straight down the middle, like it is. We're not gonna act like fans and just pick and choose what we want to fit our argument. You lose credibility. You lose credibility in that matter.
Okay, I will say this. Jason Light did make some. Okay, I will say that he does have to sign off on them. But talking about are literally no-brainer picks. They are literally no-brainer.
No, you're right. They are no-brainer picks, but at the same time, Ali Marpet was not a no-brainer. This dude was from Hobart College. That wasn't no-brainer. I go on a limb and say drafting Vita Vea was not a no-brainer.
Oh no,
Nobody knew.
I
Nobody knew who Vita Vea was. Nobody.
Who he was, because I was the one that told you about
No, no. We knew who he was, but a lot of other people didn't know who Vita Vea was because they didn't pay attention to the University of Washington. So when he made that draft pick, a lot of people was upset that we didn't take somebody else.
That's because a lot of people don't know football.
Yeah, and he's been good for us. He's been good for us. So I mean, listen, Jason Light, yeah, he's made some bonehead picks, but he's also done some good things. He just, when it comes down to
when it comes,
scouting, you got to revamp
that old that the sun has got to sign every once in a while applies.
No, but we do agree that Brady, Brady saved a lot of people's jobs, because if the person, if Brady, now we're not gonna be on too much longer, but let's just get this straight for once. If Brady don't come here, James Winston's still not getting re-signed. Because because the next, and this probably, maybe this would have been a mistake, but the next guy in line, if we didn't get land Brady, would have been Teddy Bridgewater. They was hard after Teddy Bridgewater, and then Brady came in the picture. So, not saying, at the time, I would have took Teddy Bridgewater over 30 interceptions all day long. I'll take anything over 30 for 30.
Teddy Bridgewater, he's a game manager.
Teddy Bridgewater, I think the last two situations he's been in has been bad. Carolina wasn't a good fit for him, obviously. No weapons. Christian McCaffrey was out for the year in both of those seasons. The situation here in Miami, he's in now, he's been hurt. So he did have a good game the game before he got hurt. He did have a good game there. But if Brady doesn't come here, and Teddy Bridgewater does, with what we had on the offensive side of the ball,
we do Super Bowl.
We don't win the Super Bowl. Obviously, I say that right off the bat. We're not Super Bowl champions, but we might still be, pretty good. We had some weapons. We had some pieces in place.
No, we would have been. I'm telling you this right now. I do not think we go into Green Bay and beat Green Bay.
No,
to go to the
with Bridgewater as our quarterback, we may not even be in the NFC Championship. That's legitimate. Because think about it. Gronk ain't coming here either. So,
no offense, but the Ndamukong Suh don't come here.
No, neither him or JPP.
And you know what? I'm not even entirely sure. I mean, maybe, but because to prove after he was cut. But Tom Brady doesn't come here. We do not get the players in at the price we did, because
we're 500. We're 500 football team. That's what we are.
500, maybe a little better. Maybe. Okay. But here's the thing. Okay. Now, these people, the Dominican suits, the Leonard Fournettes, man, don't make it. Don't even make any about it. They came here to win a Super Bowl ring. That is what they came here for. They came here for.
Yeah, they came here to make a run. Yeah, definitely. They definitely came here to make a run. That's not even a,
okay.
That's not even a question.
And I'm sorry, but giving Jason Light that contract extension, bad move. Bad move. Yes, Jason Light did make some good picks. And I'm not saying every general manager, every other general manager is flawless. Because there are some front offices that are in the scouting, in the room.
I think it comes down. Also, Jason Light is GM, but when the draft board comes in, it also comes down to your scouting department because let's be realistic. The GM signs off on everything, but he's getting his information from the scouting department. He's getting his information from the coaches, the head coaches, the assistants, all of them. So if we're gonna be hard on Jason Light ain't just going out there and doing all this scouting and all this recruiting by himself. The coaches and the scouting department is also, they got a hand in on this as well. So if there's some mishaps on draft picks or whatnot, who's the coaches, who's the scouting department, they have to have some accountability and all this too, because he's only making a decision off of the information that he's getting. And guess who's bringing him the draft card? The head coach or the defensive coordinator or the position coach of the player that they drafted. So, for everything that's wrong about Jason Light when it comes to that, it ain't just him. It's not just him.
No, you're right. And I mean, let's face it, our scouting department is John Anderson.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
I understand you can't completely blame Jason. By the same token, who is the guy that's bringing in all these people?
Yeah, they need to be looking at them as well. So, end of the day, man, this team, Brady gave us a window of opportunity that we took advantage of and won the Super Bowl. But as I said, life after Brady is gonna be pretty bad because we're not set up. We're not set up at all for success after Brady. We're not set up at all for any of that.
Look, let's we pull another rabbit out of our hat. And I mean, if somehow, some way, another top tier quarterback.
Yeah.
And you know what? Even then, I'm not even. But dude, we are about to go back.
About to go back to the Raheem Morris, Greg Schiano years. Actually, that's a slap in the face to Raheem Morris because Raheem Morris actually won 10 games with a team full of nobodies. So let's see, Greg Schiano, Dirk Cutter, Lovie Smith years.
Well, you know what? I'm not even going to throw Lovie Smith in there because, but no, we and Greg Schiano cost us our franchise quarterback. Nah.
Yeah, a lot of it did. A lot of it did. But hey, we gonna get on up out of here, man. We got this Monday night game on, so we want to
All right.
catch that. But ladies and gentlemen, catch us Wednesday night. This will continue on Wednesday as well. So just tune in to the live stream Wednesday night. Rat Pack Radio, WRPR, online, ratpacksports.com. You can download the TuneIn app on the Apple for Apple users and Android users. You can download the Rat Pack Radio WRPR app, and we will see you guys on the flip side. My man William, hey, appreciate you coming in, brother, and
you know that.
Yep. So, with that being said, we out of here, man. Check us out. If you got any comments, just comment below in the comments on each respective thread, and we'll get back to you guys. So, I got some food ready, been ready for a while, so I'm gonna go and have me some dinner and watch this game right now, which the Bears are up 10-0 on the New England Patriots. So, peace.
A touchdown on that possession.